Right then, James, 69 last time we did the paper one, which was really good. You're expecting a similar mark this time, so let's see how close you are. Two, 46, 32 isn't, 42 is what we're looking for there, 115 is wrong as well, and it's worth just doing that, laying it out as a sum. So you would be doing 3, 4, 7, take 2, 2, 8, and then whatever method you've been taught how to do a subtraction like that. 83 is wrong as well. 9 9s are 81 is what we're looking for there. You got all of those though, so we got 2 marks there, 2 marks there, and 2 marks there, but you dropped quite a couple of marks there. 7,000 is good. That hasn't got a tens digit of 5. The tens digit would mean the 50s column. The number would be in the 50s. So you're looking for a prime number that's in the 50s. So either 53, 53 nothing divides into apart from itself and 1, or 59. 14 is correct. That is correct, but it doesn't answer the question, because the question is saying give it in your simplest form, and both of those numbers you can divide by 2, you get 3/8, which is it in its simplest form. So that's another mark you've dropped there. So 9 marks for the first page, and I think you'll be kicking yourself when you see what you've got wrong. Megan has bought 4 pens, but this is a question where they are marking you on your explanation about the maths that you've done, and you haven't done any explanation, so you're not going to get any of those communication marks. You've got one of these wrong. There are actually 6 football rather than 5. So there's 1 mark out of the 2 available for your tally, giving you 4 for that page. There's 4 marks for the graph. It's not an XY graph. It's not a coordinate graph. It's showing data, not coordinates. So it's not Y. What you want there is either to say the frequency or to say the number of pupils. The rest of it is fine, so there'll be 3 out of 4 marks for that. Hockey is the mode. It's 10, which is correct, but it's not out of 24, it's out of the total number of students, which is 35. So only 1 of those marks. That's correct. This one isn't, because it's, no, we were just practicing this before we started the test. The speed of the stone is 45. Then comes the equals. Then comes time, which we don't know, times 10, plus starting speed, which we know is 20. So you haven't transferred the information you're given into the formula that's given there. So you won't get any marks for that. So 5, 7 for that page. 50 is correct. 66 is correct, but you're going to lose a mark because you haven't answered the question. You need to give your units. So you lose a mark for that. 0.4 is correct. That's wrong. It's 30%. And it's not a third, and it's not an eighth. 40% you could write as any percentage. To turn it into a fraction, you just put it over 100. So it would be those. So only 1 out of 4 for that. 4, 6 marks for that page. So you're shedding quite a lot of straightforward marks, James. Score is 5. So what have we got here? Mary has 1, 1, drawn 1, so her score would be 4. However, she has also lost 2, so that would take her back to 0. So 2 losses, a win and a draw is correct. Drawn 2, lost 3. Good. 6 feet, so you want to work in feet. And it's going to be about 15 feet. Good. That's a better page. 37 and 37 is 74. It must add up to 180. So 180 take away 74 is exactly the right thing to do, but your subtraction is wrong. So this is the second time in the paper now that your subtraction is incorrect. Okay, so lay it out like that. Do you know a method for subtracting? If you don't, let me show you. What you need to do is, you can't take 7 from 8. I know we know how to do negative numbers now, but it doesn't work like that. So you can't take 7 from 8, so you have to borrow 10s from the next column. So rather than having 47, we're writing it as 3017. Then you can do 8 from 17, it's 9. 2 from 3 now is 1, 2 from 3 is 1. In this one, you can't take 4 from 0, so you borrow a 10 from the next column along. So 4 from 10 is 6, 7 from 7 is 0, 0 from 1 is 0. So it's 106. So you're going to lose a mark there for your subtraction. That's something you need to practice if you're not sure about that method. With this one, 360 take away 319 is 41. 41 take away that is 139. Well done. 16, 12, 8, 4. Good. This is a good page. 7 marks. 5 out of 7 is wrong. 5 is right, but it's out of the total number of chances that come out of the game, which is all the numbers inside that table. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12. So it should be 5 out of 12. 20 is wrong, no method. What you want to be doing there is 5 out of 12, lots of 60. In every group of 12, although you had 7, 5 would be expected to win. Take a look how I talk through that on the video solution. This is work we were doing last week, and if you remember what I said, you should get 2 different colour pens and box off the same letters, and it's the sign in front that comes with it. So you've got a 5A there, and you've got a minus 6A there, and then you've got a 3B there, take away a 1B there, and then you deal with them separately. So you've got a 5A take away 6A is minus 1A, and then you've got a 3B take away 1B, which is plus 2B. Okay, so group them together and make sure the signs stay with the right parts of the algebra. So no marks for that. That one's correct though. This one's wrong, and again this is something we were practicing this week. So in order to get the 3x, first of all you have to get rid of the add 7. To get rid of the add 7 you have to take it away. Do the opposite. If you take it off that side, you have to take it off the other side too. So on that side you end up with 3x, on this side you end up with 19 take away 7, which is 12. Then to get the x and so on, you've got to get rid of the 3. 3 is joined to the x by a times, which we don't write in algebra. So there you've got a times 3. So to get the x and so on, you've got to do the opposite of timesing by 3, which is dividing by 3. So x is 4. So you need to go and practice more of those until you can crack that, because questions like that come up every year. Only 2 marks on that page, so that's a disappointing one for you. Right, it's not enough just to put a circle around it. You have to either explain why or give me an example of why. It's sort of counter example. So here, what you want to say is because 2 is prime, it's the only even prime number, and even. Here, it's not true, it's false. And it's false because if you take 18 and divide it by 2, you get 9, which doesn't end in a 4. So you're proving that it's wrong. That's not enough because it doesn't say she's starting with an even number there. So what you want to be saying is in any consecutive pair of numbers, one of them will always be even, and anything times an even number will give you an even number. So there's not enough of an explanation there. Here we're dividing. It's not an add, it's a multiplying. So you're going, so that's correct, that's correct, that's correct. What are you doing here? You're saying that 2 add 3 is 5, 2 add 3 is 5. So that whole row there is wrong. Once you're down to all prime numbers, you stop. So what you've got is 2 times 3 times 5 times 5, which is the same as 2 to the power of 1, because there's only one of them, 3 to the power of 1, 5 to the power of 2, because there's 5 times 5. So that's what you're looking for. It's not an add, it's a multiply. So too many little slips there. And then for this, if you remember when we did it, what we discovered was that for any square number, the powers are always even. So to make all of those powers even, I've got to multiply by another 2 and another 3, and 2 times 3 is 6, not 2 add 3 is 5. It's products, it's multiply. Now you should use a pencil, as I've said, because exactly what you've done there. You've done the wrong thing, you've realized it's wrong, and then you can't rub it out because you've used a pen. So please use a pencil. 3 for the page. It's not 25 logs. There are 20 logs between 50 and 55. So there's 20 there, there's 30 there, there's 15 there, and there's a 5 and a 5. So you add those up to get the total number of logs. And then how does the group frequency diagram help you decide? Well, if you look here, there are only 10 logs longer than 65 centimeters, whereas here you've got 40 logs bigger than 65 centimeters. So what you want to say is it's Tom, because more of Tom's logs are above 65 centimeters. Oops. So no marks on that sheet. Take a look how I explain this recipe question, because it's quite a complicated one to develop, but hopefully you should be able to understand at least some of those 8 marks. Now with this one, it's this that you want to be spotting is 75. So you've worked out that that's 75, because that then takes you into this triangle. Angles in a triangle add up to 180. So you take those off 180, it gives you that angle there. Now that angle there is the same as that angle there, and because of the properties of parallel lines, it's also the same as x. So all you needed to do was add those up, take it away from 180, and that will give you your answer. And again, watch how I go through those, because they're not the most difficult of final questions. I don't think you're going to hit 70. I don't think you've probably done as well as you did last time. But let's see. 9, 13, 20, 26, 36, 43, 45, 48. Yeah, 48. Now, when you go through that paper, you will see that you've thrown a lot of careless little mistakes away just by not quite concentrating. We are looking there at an E, 1 mark off a D. Okay, so yeah, you're going to be disappointed with that. Make sure that you go through my video and where you've lost marks or where you've left questions out. Make sure that you're happy with what I've been doing.